All right, let's talk about data centers in small communities. One of the big problems, one of the big complaints, is the adverse effects data centers have on electrical in a community. So data centers move in, they require a ton of electrical energy. That forces the local electrical supply companies to build more infrastructure, update their infrastructure, boost their infrastructure, and they pass the cost of all of that along with the cost of increased demand in electricity onto everybody in the community. So everybody winds up paying more for their electric bills. And I don't know about where you're at, but most places where I know people personally in my life have already seen an increase in electrical prices in the past couple of years. They don't need another one in the form of a data center moving in. So then people say, well, what if we could figure out a way to generate electricity on site for data centers? Awesome. Can you put enough solar panels on one of these things to generate the electricity that it needs, or on it and next to it, maybe like solar panels on the roof or in a field? Maybe. Let's take a look at that. And then somebody says, well, what about generators? We can generate our own electricity on site. Oh, really? Can you? And what does that do to the community?
Imagine living next to this and having to hear this constant ringing.
So, Hari, we're at your front door.
Yeah.
And I mean, you look in the distance, and there it is.
There it is. It's right there in all its glory.
There it is, the Vantage Data Center, standing tall with its blue walls and massive generators right next to this Sterling, Virginia neighborhood.
What did you think when they first turned it on?
Well, we were told in the beginning that it's just they test the generators to make sure they're working in case of an emergency. That is what we were told in the beginning. And then as the year and the months have gone on,
They just never turned off?
They're just never turned off.
Hari says they told them the generators were just temporary. That was more than a year ago. The massive data center was never hooked up to the power grid, so the generators are the only source of electricity.
You just hear this noise, it's just like, you just want to curse, it's that bad.
Greg Pirio also lives right next door.
Our concern is property values. Unless we can mitigate this, and we're talking about lawyers with options of what we can do and all of that, we know that we're not going to get the values for our homes that could have gotten before.
Oh, your property values are gone, friend. They're gone. They're running that data center off of those generators. So I go back to who's getting paid. Because if you're the mayor of a little town like that, or you're a board member of a little town like that, you live in that little town. So something had to cause you to vote for that monstrosity to have that negative effect on the same little town that you live in. How much did you get paid? Oh, and by the way, that's not going to cut it either. You're going to destroy the electrical supply or cause it to be much more expensive in the small town if you hook up to the grid. If you run your generators, you're drowning the town out in noise. Is there no way to generate solar electricity on these things? Is there no way for them to generate their power? These can't be the only options.